Picture this. You're standing on the walls of a small fortress in Hungary. On the horizon, 100,000 enemy soldiers march straight at you, and there are barely 3,000 of you. It's the summer of 1566, and the man leading that massive army is the most powerful ruler on the planet, Suleiman the Magnificent, Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. For 46 years his armies have crushed nearly everyone in their path, and once he even stood at the gates of Vienna. Now he wants Vienna again, and only one thing stands in his way, a tiny fortress in a marsh called Szigetvar. It isn't much, a castle and town on islands linked by narrow bridges, but it sits right on the road to Vienna. Inside waits a man who refuses to run, Count Nikola Zrinski, a battle-hardened nobleman serving the Habsburg crown. Zrinski has around 3,000 soldiers. Suleiman marches with as many as 100,000. The math is impossible. But there's something the Ottomans don't know. Their unstoppable Sultan is dying. Suleiman is now around 71. Too frail to ride, he's carried toward the battlefield in a covered litter, hidden from his troops. This is his 13th campaign, and his last. In early August, the Ottoman army arrives. The marsh fills with tents as far as the eye can see. Then the guns open up. Hundreds of cannon pound the walls day and night. The ground itself seems to shake. Wave after wave storms the bridges, and wave after wave, Zrinski's defenders throw them back into the water. Days turn into weeks. The Ottomans take the town, then the old castle. The defenders fall back again and again. Suleiman watches from his tent, furious. This little fortress was supposed to fall in days. Instead, it's swallowing his army. And then, on the night of September 6th, inside that tent, the most powerful man in the world quietly dies. Not in battle. Not from a blade. Old age and illness simply take him before the fortress has even fallen. This should end everything. If the army learns their Sultan is dead, they could panic or race home to fight over his throne. So his Grand Vizier, Sokolu Mehmed Pasha, makes a stunning choice. He keeps the death an absolute secret. Letters still go out signed in the Sultan's name. The whole army keeps fighting for a man who is already gone. Inside Szigetvar, Zrinski knows none of this. The Ottomans set the last fortress ablaze, and there is nowhere left to retreat. So Zrinski does something extraordinary. He puts on his finest clothes, fills his pockets with gold, and takes up his sword. He throws open the gate, and with the last few hundred of his men, charges straight into the Ottoman army waiting outside. A storm of gunfire cuts them down. Zrinski falls within minutes, but he left one last surprise. As Ottoman soldiers pour in to loot the burning fortress, they reach the powder magazine. Zrinski had rigged it to blow. The explosion tears through thousands of them in an instant. When the smoke clears, the Ottomans have won, but the cost is staggering. Perhaps 20 to 30,000 of them lie dead. Their Sultan is gone. The season is over. The exhausted army turns around and marches home. Vienna, the real prize, is never even attacked. A fortress of 3,000 had stopped the largest empire on earth. Suleiman's death stayed secret for weeks. His organs were buried near Szigetvar. His body was smuggled back to Constantinople. Centuries later, a French statesman would call this the battle that saved civilization. The siege where the most powerful man alive died unnoticed, and 3,000 doomed men may have changed a continent's fate.